Can you hear me? Yes, you can. So, our outline will be maliit lang po. No? So, the topic is what are the streamlining initiatives of government, of course, relative to logistics. So, I'll talk about, of course, Logistics Services Philippines kasi dito po talaga yung private sector, public sector engagement. I will also talk a little bit about the project of LSPH, again with the USAID Speed and Respond. And then, what are the streamlining initiatives that we have undergone? So kakwentuhan ko po kayo. Next. So, alam nyo ho, 2017 pa tayo nag-umpisa, sir? 2017, no? Doon ho nabuhay yung tinatawag nating Logistics Services Philippines. Ito po yung hindi po siya formal association, but we, DTI, put together in one room all of the associations that are part of logistics services. No? So whether magmula po sa mga truckers, customs brokers, terminal operators, freight forwarders, port users, SMAP nandun. At marami pa po. Dati nag-umpisa yata kami sa 10, parang 20 na ngayon. Tapos nagkaroon pa ng LSPH Air. So, at that time, 2018 yata nga, we signed, no? Government and the private sector agencies signed. And they called it 10 commitments. No? So, ano po tayo dyan? We were really very much serious about it. Para ho siyang 10 commandments. So, ang ginawa ho, nag-sign ng private sector, kami po sa DTI, parang Biblia po namin tong 10 commitments na sinabi ng private sector, gawin nyo to government. Pag ginawa nyo to, uunlad yung industriya natin. No? So that is what we did. And I just wanted to tell you that commitment number 4 is streamlining of government processes. So we want to, and this is a good time, a very good time for us to share, no, what we have done in the implementation of that commitment. So sabi po ng private sector, we recognize the role that logistics services sector plays in ensuring ease of doing business. We shall abide by the provisions of RA 11032. No, ito po yung Ease of Doing Business Act. Basically po, no, to really streamline the processes, especially in the issuance of licenses and permits. No? So, next. So, in the same vein, so ano po yun 2017, 2018. Ngayon po, the LSPH is updating the 10 commitments. And LSPH, with assistance also from USAID, is crafting what we call the National Logistics Strategy. So ito po sila ang very much involved here. And kita nyo ulit of the 6 pillars, andun po ulit ang ease of doing business, which essentially is streamlining, trade facilitation. So, ito ho, talagang in-identify talaga kung ano yung mga dapat gawin. And of course, ano pa po ito, no? This is still work in progress, kaya we would really want as many inputs and comments as we can, so that when this is presented to the President, it really will be a complete and an integrated plan. Next. So ito na. So what have we done? And what are we doing? And what do we want to do on streamlining? So we'd like to share with you what we have done, because this is really not DTI, not government, but both of us. Many of the things that I'm reporting today, gawa po natin yan. No? Gawa po natin yan. So, ang nakaraan. Ang nakaraan. Alam ni Miss Doris, so nakita ni Miss Doris ang picture, alam na alam po nyo. No? So, because of commitment number 4, we decided to look into the various licenses if you are a business engaged in customs brokerage, cold storage, freight forwarding, domestic shipping, trucking, or warehousing. Ang gusto ho talaga natin, if that is a logistic service, dapat madali lang ang inyong pag-operate. Pag-start ng business nyo, pag-operate ng business nyo, tsaka pagsarado ng business nyo. So, ang ginawa po natin, as you know, I remember in the commitment, magkikwento po ulit kami ng sandali. Bago po kasi kami nag-logistics, kami din po yung grupo na in charge dun sa ARTA before. Alam niyo po yung ARTA, di ba? Yung Anti-Red Tape Authority. Before it became the DTI was very much instrumental in the passage of RA 11032. So yung grupo po namin, kami po yung sa DTI, sa Competitiveness Bureau, we managed yung pong ease of doing business. So ang last po namin at talagang napaka-memorable nun sa amin, yung pong tumaas po yung ranking natin. No? Wala na po yung study, hindi na po ginagawa ng World Bank yung study. But in 2020, that study, we really, the ranking of the Philippines really increased. No? At 90 po yata. No? So that was the biggest increase in terms of the ranking on ease of doing business. Ano po ba yung ginawa natin? Kasi talagang we work with the private sector. Ang ginawa natin, nung naging logistics services tayo, we adapted the technology of the International Finance Corporation to yung gumagawa, si IFC po at si World Bank. So, yun pong technology nila o methodology nila is what we have done for the logistics services. So, ano pong ginawa natin? Sige, go. Lahat nung business, the life of the business, inaral po talaga natin. The life of cold storage, the life of a customs brokerage. Go ahead lang. Sige, please proceed. Domestic sea shipping, freight forwarding. Next. Trucking, warehouse businesses. 6 yan . What we have done through you is to plot everything step by step. Tatandaan mo ito, Miss Doris. Marami kang oras na ginugol dito. No? Ang output nga ho namin dito, libro, 6 na volumes. We did what we learned from the World Bank methodology. Alamin natin yung steps, alamin natin yung processes, alamin natin kung ano yung documentary requirements, alamin natin kung gaano katagal o kabilis mag-apply ng lisensya, tsaka how much. So that is what we have done. And we've done it for, ito po yun, kunyari cold storage. Sa cold storage, ito pong nasa left side, we plotted together with you, kasi it is not just a Department of Trade intervention. The private sector helped validate, pag ako ay cold storage business, ano-anong ahensya ng gobyerno ako kailangan kumuha ng permit. So, in this particular case, ayan po, makikita po ninyo, starting nung may mga, po dito, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, kasi magsa-start ng business. Pag mag-operate po ng business, kung kayo ay cold storage, kailangan nyo ng permit ng DOE, ng BOI, ng DOLE, ng BIR, ito po, pati DA, Bureau of Customs, DA BAFE, yan po. So, each and every business, talaga pong inalam namin kung what particular agency, because the idea is to streamline the process of these agencies. That's how simple po it is. The first step is to define where we are, to reduce it, because we want ease of doing business for you. So ganyan po yan. So makikita ho ninyo, ang tawag ho namin, sub to cab. From starting a business to closing a business. So you'll see that in the snapshot. So in the case of cold storage, if you are in the cold storage business, you probably would deal with about 11 to 15 regulatory agencies of government. And apparently, the fees would range from 38,000 to 500,000. So, syempre, gusto ho natin mapababa yung cost nyo, di ba? Yun ho yung kaya natin ginagawa ito. So, sige. So, that's cold storage. Customs broker. Sa mga customs brokerage dito po. So, imagine mo, from 1,000 pesos to 17,000 pesos, you deal with 6 to 15 regulatory agencies. Next. So we have domestic shipping. Next. Ito, million. Next. Freight forwarder. 8 to 19 agencies. So next. Trucking. Ayan, no? From 44,000 yung fees to 500,000 if you're in the business of trucking. Next. And then look at the processing time, no? Ito po yung pina-validate. Kasi daw, pagka inad-add mo naman talaga to, minsan ho talaga inaabot minsan ng taon. Yan. So, in other words, each particular permit, we were able to identify it because the idea is to reduce the time and the cost. Okay, next. So, as I mentioned, the important aspect of this project is that it is public-private. So, hindi lang po ito government. Sabi ng government, government, ito, meron kaming listahan ng mga proseso. Pero pina-validate po namin sa private sector. So very dynamic po yung discussions because the private sector would say, hindi totoo, ganito yan, ang totoo nito, ganito, ganito. So this is really what the private sector validated. And ang dami pong meetings, no? And as you can see, and next slide please. Ito po, nakita po namin yung mga nandito ngayon. I think, of course, si PMT Lai, no? Kintetsu, very active. It's all here. Ito, ba't apat lang naka-highlight? PMT Lai, of course. So, yun po, no? So, many of you here, you're already familiar with the activity because you were part of this particular activity. Next. So, where are we now, no? So, of course, as I said, the first step is to identify the baseline. And we've done that. What we've done is to refer this to the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Kasi role po ni Anti-Red Tape Authority na mag-isa-isa siya sa mga agencies of government. So alam niya kung ano-ano na po yung mga permits na pinaprocess. And the idea is to reduce, no? To reduce the time, the cost, and the documentary requirements in accordance to RA 11032. Next. So yan po ang phases. Okay. So yun ho. So we're very happy because I think probably this is really the first time that we've presented project streamlining to a huge group. We've presented it to LSPH, to the members of the LSPH. But I'm glad that because of the topic that we have now, I think this is one of the items that we really need to pursue even further. Pero bukod dun sa project streamlining, one of the key points of DTI, by the way po, magpapakilala kami na kami po sa DTI, meron pong tinatag na isang division. Ang tawag po doon, Supply Chain and Logistics Management Division. But under Secretary Pascual's initiative, he wants to scale it up kasi because of the importance that he has given to supply chain. So magiging supply chain, logistics, and wholesale retail trade office. And this is the importance accorded by the secretary on your industry. So ano po yung ginagawa ng SCLMD pa, no? So we are very happy that we have a close collaboration with the Bureau of Customs and other agencies of government, no? So yan po yung critical. So unahin ho natin yung isa sa proud activity po natin. In our conversation with many of the freight forwarders, they will complain. Kung ako ay sea freight forwarder, pupunta ako kay Department of Trade para mag-apply ng license ko. If I am an air freight forwarder, pupunta po ako kay Civil Aeronautics Board to also apply for my license. But if I were both a sea and an air, I will have to go to both. So, syempre ho, I will give credit where credit is due. Miss Doris po talaga ang pinaka-loudest advocate for niya. So talaga lagi kayo naririnig sa kanya, okay, okay ma'am, let's do something about it. So we have done something about it. Both the Department of Trade and Industry and the Civil Aeronautics Board, we decided, in the interest of ease of doing business, to streamline our processes. No? So yung gusto kong i-announce sa inyo, that number one is to streamline our process. Hindi ho madali yun kasi dalawang ahensya ng gobyerno. Yung isang ahensya lang ng gobyerno na mag-streamline, nahirap-hirap na. Yung po pang dalawa, talagang ang tingin ko ho, kailangan nating palakpakan ng DTI tsaka DOTR. Nangingin ng palakpak. No, seriously. Hindi pa. So it is really an effort because we really want to be responsive, no? So unahin ho natin yung mga sarili namin, si DTI. Hindi ho kami pwedeng streamline sa ibang ahensya if we do not streamline our own. So that's the first step. DTI has to streamline our own procedures. And talagang it's complicated. We've done a lot, but abangan po ninyo na ilalabas na po namin yung Department Administrative Order that will streamline. Next slide. Ito po yung HOFA na tinatawag. Ito po yung harmonize. Kailangan si DTI ayusin po niya. Kasi tingnan po ninyo si DTI. Ang sinasabi po ni DTI ay ang documentary requirements po namin, dating 16 requirements. Dahil sa streamlining namin, magiging 5 requirements. Ang sinasabi po namin, yung dati naming 3 araw, 1 araw na lang. So, streamlining po natin yan. Of course, titingnan sa inyo, tingnan ho natin. Parang nakikita ko, sige, titingnan natin. But that should be in our Department Administrative Order. So, ganun din po naman si Civil Aeronautics Board. Yung 9 steps niya, naging 6 steps. So, from 21 days to 15 days. Bakit ang laki-laki pa rin? Kasi po meron talagang, I realized that there are certain, in accordance to law, ang hirap po basta law na, ay kailangan ho ninyong i-amend yung law. No? Hindi ho pwede yun. But malaki na, kasi ito yung mga publication, that is a requirement under the law. Yun. So, yun na po, no? So, ang maganda ho kasi dito, of course, we want to streamline our processes first, and then automate. No? And this is the po ngayon na medyo na po kami sa tinetest po natin yung system, but meron na pong system, nag-usap na po kami ng DOTR Civil Aeronautics Board and the Department of Trade and Industry and Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau, and the system, there's already a system in place. So again, abangan nyo po yan. Ngayong taon na to ay hindi na ho kayo kailangan mag-apply sa 2 ahensya ng gobyerno. You will just apply through this portal and we will process your sea freight accreditation and your air freight accreditation. Ay, salamat! Thank you for that affirmation. Okay. So yun po. Next. Si Department of Trade and Industry po, yung grupo po nitong supply chain, parang kami po yung makulit. Yung mga private sector, sasabihin sa amin, tapos kami po, sasabihin namin dun sa ahensya. So, ito ho yung nangyari dito kay E-Airway Bill. As I mentioned earlier, we started LSPH with basically maritime. Many of the associations there are all maritime related, no? Shipping lines, container terminals, truckers that come out of the port, yun po. And then we came out with when the president said that he really wants the country to be a logistics hub, and air is critical. At dito po sa Clark, Clark is really the main daan. Ang nangyari po, sabi po nung mga airlines, pati po yung IATA, they were saying, the Philippines is the only country that does not use the E-Airway Bill. So we started the discussions, kinukulit po namin si Bureau of Customs. And we're very happy, and this is really the point of a good partnership and the dynamism of the Bureau of Customs. They looked into it and then also already piloted that one. So there were a series of meetings. We tried to understand what it was, the DTI, and then at that time we remember we had that meeting with the Bureau of Customs na iya, with the district collector, and then again, PMTLI was represented in that meeting. Nakita po talaga ng BOC na, sige, mukhang talagang importante siya. And then, we were advised by the Bureau of Customs that indeed, no, they have in fact adopted. Next, can you show this next slide? So ito na po yung nangyari na, according to the, papalakpakan po natin ang Bureau of Customs. Are you here, Bureau of Customs? So, we'd like to give credit to the Bureau of Customs because nung una po, at the time, early or in the year, I thought it was just a pilot. Pero mukhang dumadami na po ang mga airlines at mga air freight forwarders ang nag-a-avail na po talaga nito. Hindi ko alam yung puro jargon to kung sino mga airlines. SQ, JL, BR, ano ba yung BR? TK, QF, ano yung BR? EVA, QF, QR, NH, KE, Korean Air, EK, Emirates, ET, Etihad. O yan. So, ayan po, may mga plans for them to onboard. At alam ko yung CX, at alam ko yung PR. Yung 5J, parang alam ko yan. Yeah. So, nakita ho natin na we are very, very happy that the e-airway bill is already being adopted. And you confirm that, no, ma'am, na there's e-airway bill by the Bureau of Customs? Inaccept? Inaccept na. Yeah. So, yun. No, I think yun yung natin this is good news for us to know that there's continued submission, no? Yan. And then, ito nga yung that the Bureau of Customs Export Division utilized the EAW Cube system. Yeah. Okay. So next. So yun na po. Next. Because we're talking about streamlining, and again, si Bureau of Customs reached out to the Department of Trade. They reached out to us because they know that the constituency of the supply chain would be the private sector. So you remember, I don't know if some of you attended that session, pero we helped the Bureau of Customs organize this session because of the TRS. This is the time release study. It's an internationally accepted tool to measure the actual time required for the release and or the clearance of goods from the time of arrival until the physical release of cargo, with the view to finding bottlenecks in the trade flow process and in taking corresponding necessary measures. Alam niyo po, can you go to the next slide, please? We are very, very happy because ito po, after that meeting, the DTI, the Bureau of Customs, together with other members of government, we have agreed to create a national TRS technical working group to make this happen. Kasi po, parang you remember, di ba, kanina meron tayong kung ikaw ay the life of customs brokerage, the life of a tracking business. Ito po naman, this is about the trade facilitation. It's about how much time and what are the requirements necessary to release your cargo. No? So this is a very good tool so that the Bureau of Customs, it will help the Bureau of Customs improve, no? Improve ito pong time nila, no, to release the cargo. So we were according to our mukha daw pong baka July to September ang implementation. But this is really a very good step. Kasi paano ho natin malalaman yung improvement natin kung hindi natin makikita yung baseline natin. Okay? Next. Okay. So okay na po, nakadalo na ako. Meron kaming isa pa. This is we put it under a streamlining initiative Because streamlining at the end of the day is what we want in order to reduce the cost, no? To make to ensure that there's ease in doing business at mapadali po, no? So in this particular case, one of the pet projects of the DTI was to ensure the unimpeded movement of cargo. So a lot of the truckers that this part of LSPH, they really pointed to us yung issue po ng pass-through fees. No, yun pong yung truck po ninyo ay magdadaan sa maraming munisipyo at yung munisipyo po ay hihingan po kayo ng sticker ng fees, no? So what we have done, so there were efforts in the past to address this. However, naging prevalent pa rin po. So ang ginawa ho ng DTI, we proposed to the President the signing of an executive order, which he has signed. So ito po yung EO 41, prohibiting the collection of pass-through fees. Ang sinasabi ho ng EO na to, nire-remind ng Presidente, kapag po national road, bawal ho maningil dyan. Yung local road, pwede kang maningil. Pero ang sinasabi ni Presidente, in the interest of bringing down the cost of goods, the logistics cost, pwede ba local government unit, can you suspend muna the pass-through fees, no? So yun. So kami po ng DILG, combined DTI, the BLGF, ARTA, DPWH, DOTR, we are always meeting on this to check on compliance. You know, I have been meeting some of the meetings with many manufacturers, and I'm glad that they said naramdaman din naman po nila talaga na yung impact kasi nga there are many local government units that really followed the president's directive. Pero alam din po namin kasi nagsasabi din sila na hindi na nga pass-through fees, iba naman. Ibang klase naman. So, wag ko kayong mag-alala kasi pinag-uusapan din hulit namin ng DILG kung paano po natin ma-address yung mga ibang cost, no? But ang nandito po ngayon that we were able to really monitor, DILG po is monitoring. So meron lang akong request to everybody here. If you have trackers that experience yung mga pass-through fees po. Minsan binibigyan ng resibo, hingin nyo, sabihin nyo sa mga truck driver, huminga ng resibo. Bigayunin nyo sa amin. No? Because kami po ang magbibigay sa DILG. So we want, yun po ang pangako din ng DILG. And it's been working because we have been working with the Truckers Association of LSPH and we have been getting mga copies of copies of mga resibo na ini-issue at saka whether formal or informal. So, nananawagan ho ako to everyone here today, if you have truckers that have experiences on pass-through fees anywhere in the country, please do submit it to the Department of Trade. Okay? Next. Ito na po yung last ko. Excess na ba ako? Sorry. So, this is my last slide, I believe, because for me, this is the vision slide. This is the slide that is really what will streamline and make our logistics services more efficient. Ito po yung interoperability of the logistics operations. I remember the logistics in the services sector telling us, na dito daw nga po sa Pilipinas, medyo kakaiba tayo. Kasi sa ibang bansa, 24/7. And then it works, di ba? Clockwork po. It works like clockwork. In the case of the Philippines, the terminal operators, our ports, they operate 24/7. Ang problema po, yung pag humingi ka ng permit, kailangan kang humingi ng permit sa mga ibang government agencies, hindi po 24/7. 8 to 5. So yung iba po, hybrid. Magpa-file ka online, pero pupunta ka din sa kanila para ibigay. Parang hybrid. So, time-consuming po yun. Pagkatapos Maraming nagre-reklamo, mga forwarders, pupunta ka lang sa shipping lines. Shipping lines, minsan uso na ho ngayon ng digital payments. Pero kung minsan daw po yung mga shipping lines, hindi daw ho talaga nag-accept ng digital payments or bank-to-bank transfers. So kailangan ho nyo, bangko po, 8 to 3 o'clock. Adi tapos na po yung bangko nun. Pagkatapos ho, ang sabi, yung mga truck drivers, syempre meron tayong ban. Diba? May truck ban. So, isipin mo kung anong araw ka, anong oras ka magpa-apply kasi baka ma-truck ban ka. Tapos, hindi pa po yun. May sabi pa ng mga na, hindi ho daw nagde-deliver ng Sabado-Linggo. So, sabi ng mga, paano kami magsasabado-Linggo? Siyempre, holiday yon. Paano kami magsasabado-Linggo? Wala namang tatanggap sa warehouse nung manufacturer. Di ba? So, ang sabi ho ni Secretary, nung siya po, pinisent ho niya to kay Presidente, sana ho, yung ating sektor, agree tayong lahat na 24/7. Di ba? Kung ikaw po ay manufacturer, merong delivery sa'yo, hindi ka naman kailangan 24/7, nandun ka kung ang operations mo hindi 24/7. Pag sinabi sa'yo sa system na darating ang shipment mo ng 8 o'clock p.m. ng Sabado, at least may tagabukas na warehouse ng 7:00 ng gabi ng Sabado. Diba? How do we do all of that? Uso na po ngayon ang digitalization. So, ito ngayon yung what we have been doing with the Logistics Services Philippines. And we're very happy kasi ang private sector po, dynamic. So, yun nga lang ho, tingnan nyo, napakadami po ng mga systems natin. Hindi ho na natin babanggit yung sa Bureau of Customs. Sa Bureau of Customs, syempre, fully automated naman po siya. May mga E2M, yung mga VASPs, tama ba? VASPs. Yan. Pero po, marami po tayo. Of course, ang terminal operators natin, state of the art po ang kanilang technology. Meron tayong mga automated container movement monitoring system. Na-meet po namin, we were invited, yung AISL, container, so meron silang MAX, di ba? Marami po sa ating private sector, even the container yards, you have your own systems. So the question is, nag-uusap-usap pa yung mga system natin. Sana po mag-usap-usap. Yun ho yung kailangan natin gawin. So, that is our vision. We believe that it is not an impossible mission. We believe that that is something that if we try to think about it now and with all of your support, baka po mapadali po ang ating goal. Essentially po, we want interoperability. Yung pong system ninyo, sa inyo po yun eh. Pero yung magdikit-dikit at mag-usap-usap, yan po talaga yung gusto nating mangyari. And we in the DTI, we are very much for it because for us, importante din po talaga ang information. Okay? Next. Tapos na. So, thank you very much po for the opportunity to share government's interventions and initiatives relative to streamlining. Thank you very much for listening.